Thank you so much. It is such an honor to be here. I'm Jeremy Hunt, and I'm running for Congress in Georgia's 2nd District against a 30-year Democrat incumbent, Sanford Bishop, whose time is up. It is such a privilege to be here. I'm a Georgia native. I grew up here. I'm so thankful. I grew up in a Christian conservative home. My father, to this day, is still a pastor. And I was thankful for that upbringing with a mother and a father who taught me the truth, who taught me the gospel at an early age, and who taught me our conservative values. And I'm also thankful that many of you in this room, I grew up looking up to you, knocking on doors for many of you, and growing up in the conservative movement here in Georgia. And it's just inspiring seeing how far we've come. I had the honor of going to West Point, the United States Military Academy at West Point, and learning what it takes to lead soldiers in harm's way. And I graduated and commissioned as an active duty Army intelligence officer. And thank you. We got there we go. There's some Army fans here. And went over to Fort Benning and became a paratrooper, earned my jump wings. And then I was deployed to Ukraine back in 2016. Folks, this was back in 2016, Putin had already taken Crimea during the Obama administration, and he was preparing to invade the rest of the country. This was back in 2016. In November, he thought that Hillary Clinton would win, and then he would have this golden opportunity to invade and take the country. We'd have a weak commander-in-chief. But when Donald Trump won, he realized, I'm going to stand at bay, because now they actually have strength in the White House. But amazing, and this is the terrible part, the sad part about it is that now in 2020, with Biden in the White House, he saw his golden opportunity once again. He saw weakness from our country, and he invaded their country. And when we were there in Ukraine, we were training their armed forces specifically on how to defend themselves against Putin's aggression. And I'm so proud of the way they have fought. Their thirst for liberty, the way they defended their homes. You talk about members of parliament grabbing weapons and patrolling their streets. And many people here in our country have been so proud of the way the Ukrainian people have been standing up for liberty. But it makes me think about, how are we standing up for liberty in our own country? Because we might not have bullets at us right now, but some of us are saying, man, if I were there, I would be fighting for my home. But you can't even stand up to a vaccine mandate. What makes you think you're going to fight? I mean, you can't. If you can't stand up for justice in our country, in our own neighborhood, what makes you think that you're going to stand when there are bullets in our faces? If you can't, we talk about standing up to China, and yet we're still allowing our kids to be addicted to Chinese-based apps on their phones, TikTok, and all these, getting our kids information. We talk about standing up for truth and righteousness in our own country, and you can't even turn off Disney Plus. Folks, we have to stand now in our country for liberty. And so, anyway, I got back from Ukraine. I got married up, and my wife and I, we have a beautiful little girl, a 2-year-old named Kinsley, and we live in Columbus. And I began doing commentary on Fox News, standing up against Black Lives Matter and all these groups preaching all this just evil about our country. And, my grandmother was born in South Georgia, and her grandparents were freed slaves. And back in the 1940s, 1950s, she had this crazy idea that she wanted to go to college. And she graduated from Fort Valley State University, first in our family, paved the way for my father to go to college, went to Howard, and then I got to go to West Point. Folks, that is the American dream, from slavery to West Point in a matter of generations. And I'm living proof of it. And we've gone around our district sharing that story. We're about preserving the American dream for the next generation, for my daughter, for families like ours across middle and southwest Georgia. And it's under attack. The American dream is under attack, not just from forces abroad in Iran and China and North Korea. We could talk about what they're doing, but even here at home, the forces of wokeism, they're trying to tear our nation apart, to tell my daughter that she is somehow a victim in our country. And so, folks, I'm telling you right now, the Washington establishment, they always say, don't get too much into the culture wars, just stay on talking about the specific pieces of legislation. But, folks, I realize this is not just a culture war. This is a spiritual war that we are in. I am going up against George Soros-funded activists in my district right now. Since I jumped in this race, Nancy Pelosi, pledged $2.6 million Nancy Pelosi is funneling to the Democrat incumbent right now to try to stop the momentum that we've gained. but it's too late. We have gotten so much momentum across the district. Secretary Pompeo, Senator Tom Cotton, who have endorsed us. I hope you can join us. JeremyForGeorgia.com. Would love to have your support. Thank you so much. Thank you.